Hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I've been debating for quite some time about whether or not to do videos about my truck driver training. I'm going to be starting training with Wilson Logistics on Monday, and I'll be leaving tomorrow. I have decided to go ahead and make this video for two reasons. The first reason is because I drove from Oklahoma to Arkansas yesterday for my grandson's graduation, and some of the things I noticed concerning trucks just really shocked me. It had been mentioned to me on a forum site that Oklahoma is one of the worst states for truck driver parking, which I didn't really believe because I had been to several places. Like, I drive to Arkansas quite a bit, and I had never really noticed there being a lack of parking. I wish I had taken pictures of some of the stuff that I saw on my way back last night. I know most drivers prefer not to drive at night because it's more dangerous. I myself am more of a night person, so I might be driving at night, but I tell you, the amount of trucks that I saw parked on the shoulder of the road, on, off, and on ramps is just sad. You know, the drivers aren't to blame. There should be parking made available to them by the state, or even the federal government, in my personal opinion. I stopped at two different travel plazas whenever it was fairly late at night. One was a Love's, another, actually maybe they were both Love's, I don't remember, to be honest, but I think they might have both been. But like, both of them had so many trucks there that some of the trucks were forced to park in the area that was designated for automobiles because there just wasn't enough parking. And also at one of them, there's like a grassy area next to where the air compressor for airing up tires is, and I would say there were probably at least 20 trucks parked in that area. So parking is definitely a huge problem. And the other reason I decided to go ahead and make this, the things I saw that concerned me. That's my dog Damon. Hi Damon. But anyway, I don't even know if I got him in that, but the other thing was the, like, people that pass trucks that are going faster than I'm going, and I'm going slightly under the speed limit or at the speed limit, which, the way that I came back, the maximum speed limit is 75, and there were several trucks that were going 75 or even faster. Some that were going around 65, 70, in the 75s, and I personally chose not to pass them because it was severely windy. There were storms moving in, and anytime that you pass a truck, it puts you and the truck both at risk, and if the winds are high, it increases the risk. But I mean, people just be careful when you're driving around trucks. You don't realize how long it does take these huge vehicles hauling all of our cargo that we need to actually stop. Don't be cutting right over in front of them after you pass them. I saw that a lot, which, I mean, I have seen it a lot in the past too, and I know truck drivers have to be alert, but people driving other vehicles need to also be alert and pay attention to the trucks and have respect for them. I mean, you're not going to be able to get any of the items that you need to be able to live your life without truck drivers unless everything starts being hauled by boat, train, and plane, and that's not going to happen. So just, it's sad, the lack of respect that people have for truck drivers. I'm not just saying that because I'm planning to become one. I'm saying it because without them, where would we be? I mean, it's just, I think it's sad. and if something should happen and I should not be able to become a truck driver, I plan to try to find a fairly decent job and find a way to just make it possible for there to be more parking for trucks, you know? It shouldn't have to be this way. And I hear it's way worse in the East than it is in Oklahoma, so, you know, I'll probably be finding out about that. I'll probably be, you know, maybe taking some videos of what conditions are like in these areas and stuff. And, you know, I kind of wish that I had taken a short video of what I saw last night. And, like, the rest areas, like, I had been told that Oklahoma had done away with most of their rest areas, and I didn't believe it because I'm like, I mean, I go to Arkansas and I stop at them, but like on the toll road, I knew there weren't any, and I'm pretty sure they've taken out another gas station on the toll road that runs like from Arkansas going through Tulsa. There used to be a really lovely plaza center there that they closed down. Oh goodness, it's probably been over 5 years ago now. But they closed down another gas station that's on the side coming from Arkansas to Oklahoma, which that area would have allowed more parking for trucks, you know. And then there was a rest area that I used to always stop at on I-40 that I didn't see anywhere. The only one I saw, like there was a parking area, and there's a rest area that doesn't have any facilities, which is also basically a parking area. And I understand there's a lot of crime sometimes at rest areas, but there's also security cameras usually. So, I mean, I really don't understand why they did away with those rest areas. Like, truck drivers aren't the only people that use them. I use them. Me and my kids use them. Or used to, you know, stop and use the bathroom, get out, stretch your legs, walk around, walk your dog. There's just a lot of places where there aren't that many gas stations or convenience stores or travel plazas or anything like that to stop at along the way. And there have to be places for people to stop, you know? So, anyway, I'm not trying to be an activist. I may end up becoming one. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to starting my training, and I will, I guess, start making more videos. I'm not going to do like a lot of people do and promise that I'm going to do them daily. I'll try to do them weekly at least. Might film them daily and post them weekly. You know, I'll just have to see what happens. I still have a lot of studying to do, I know that. And people, you know, if you're looking into being a truck driver, do yourself and the industry a favor and make sure that you do your research and study a lot. Like, the instant the thought of becoming a driver enters your mind, download your state manual and start studying it. From what I have found, like I said, I live in Oklahoma. I'm going to be going to Springfield, Missouri for my training. So I started out studying the Oklahoma manual because I was looking at some carriers in the Oklahoma City area, and none of those just worked out for me. They're great carriers, but it just didn't work out for me personally. And kind of glad because I, you know, through that found Wilson Logistics, which is a great company from what I've experienced so far. And but you know, so I started out doing this stuff for Oklahoma, and now I'm doing this stuff for Missouri, and I downloaded the online Missouri CDL manual, and from what I can tell, it's exactly the same as the Oklahoma one, even though the Oklahoma one hasn't been updated since like 2004, and the Missouri one, I want to say, was updated in 2014. But there's like a little bit of wording that's different and stuff like that, but other than that, they're exactly the same. So I will at least try to make a video after I get to Springfield tomorrow. Just, more probably about stuff that you need to do personally to prepare yourself for going to school, and maybe some of my experience on my bus trip and whether it's better to take a bus or take your own vehicle. I don't know. I went back and forth between the two, but right now my family only has one car that is legal to be driven, so I don't really have a choice other than to take the bus. Plus, I don't have the money for gas that I would need to have to drive myself. So, just, if you are planning to drive, you can go ahead and look into my videos if you would like, and I'll try to do my best to include the information that I think is important. I may make a list of what I feel is most important and then go from there. But anyway, I'm going to return to studying right now. So also, if you're considering driving, some things I consider to be very important. I go to the Truckers Report, I believe it's called, or the Trucker Report, and participate in forums there, talk to truck drivers who are driving, talk to new ones and experienced ones. That way you have a really good idea of what the industry is like. My father drove a truck, so, I knew some about it before, but these people can give me, information on what's going on now. And download DMV Genie. It's a free app. Has practice CDL test, and it let's see, it's free. There are certain tests that you have to pay to unlock. I have been told that it's not necessary to do those, just do the other ones. But in my opinion, DMV Genie it's kind of an easy, the tests are fairly easy. So there's another site, it's called CRISTCDL.com. Their website is www.CRISTCDL.com. These tests are pretty complicated, and compared to the DMV Genie ones, they're pretty complicated. And from what I have been told, they're pretty much like the state test. So it's just a better test, but the DMV Genie is definitely a good one to use to practice for these tests and complete all the training that your recruiter sends you. Most likely, whatever carrier you decide to go with is going to give you, they will send you a link probably to Infinity or some other thing. It'll have videos for you to watch. It'll have practice CDL test, the written test. Make sure that you do all of this. At this point, I haven't quite done all of mine. I've practiced some of my tests, and I'm still working on reading my CDL manual, all of it, but I have a pretty long bus trip tomorrow. I have the rest of today, and we'll be doing our CDL test on Tuesday. So, we'll have class Monday, but then, Monday after class, I can study some. We're encouraged to study in groups. Wilson Logistics has pretty small training groups. From what I have seen on their Facebook page, recent classes have had anywhere from 3 to 8 people. Well, the onboarding, but the training itself generally has no more than 6 people. So real small classes, one-on-one with your trainer, which some people have said they don't prefer, but I personally think I prefer. And I was trying to think, there was something else I thought you should download besides your state CDL manual, CRIST, and DMV Genie, but depending on what company you go with, there will be different apps you can use to apply for companies and like kind of gauge your progress with them. I use Driver Pulse. Um, Wilson Logistics doesn't really, like some of the companies, the more you communicate with them and they communicate with you, it has a bar on there that goes up and shows like how close you are to completing what you need to do with them. Wilson Logistics doesn't do that on there, but they are on there. They're a small company. It's Wilson Logistics, Jim Palmer Trucking, and O&S all together, which is owned by Wilson Logistics. And they want to stay a small company, so I'm not sure how many I mean, you know, that's part of why their classes are so small, and they're kind of picky about who they hire from what I've heard, so I'm glad that I've been chosen by them, because to me they seem like a great company. And you know, I've read their reviews and stuff, and for the most part people say that they treat you like family. That's what I'm looking for. They have a rider pet policy. The pet policy has no deposit, and from what I hear, their policies are pretty laid back. So this little guy over here is going to be going with me. You can't take passengers or pets with you until you've been actually driving for 6 months. But this is Damon I was talking about earlier. Right here, this little guy. And he's a Dachshund Basset Hound mix. But yeah, that's my little guy. He's going to be going on the truck with me whenever I get my CDL and am approved to have pets with me. So that's part of why, you know, part of why I chose Wilson Logistics too, because, I mean, nowadays the majority of companies do have a pet rider policy. A lot of them require a $500 deposit, which is understandable because you're using their equipment. Your dog's gonna get hair in there. There's gonna be the pet smell. I don't know what all sorts of pets they allow. I know they allow dogs and cats, most trucking companies. I saw, I shouldn't laugh about it, but I saw a video, Wilson Logistics, which used to be known as Wil Trans, has a 3 heartbeat policy, and that means at one time there can be up to 3 heartbeats in the vehicle, which means I, the driver, would be 1, and like if I take Damon, that's going to be 2. If I have another passenger with me, that it would be 3. But like if I don't have another passenger with me, or during the times I don't have another passenger with me, I could have another dog. There are several people that take 2 dogs with them all the time and never take any passengers. I could take a cat. I'm not going to throw like just any animals out there, but I do know that I saw a video about a guy, but I think this guy is an owner operator. I think he contracts with a company, but I'm not sure what company it is, but it is not Wilson Logistics. I want to make that clear. This guy is not with Wilson Logistics, but there is a guy out there on the road, and I hope I run across him one day, who in his truck has an iguana and a pot-bellied pig. So you can take various things with you. I don't know if that's a DOT thing that you can only have up to 3 heartbeats, but he says he's a people person, but he's always been kind of sort of a loner, and those were his, you know, those were the things that he wanted before he started driving a truck. So after he got his own truck, he spoke to the company that he was contracted with, and you know, they're like, it's your truck. If you want to take something with you, you're more than welcome to, really, you know. So he started taking his iguana that he had at the time. I want to say that he has been taking the iguana with him for 7 years now, if I recall correctly. And the pot-bellied pig he's been taking with him for 5 years. So he has his pot-bellied pig is I don't recall if they're called miniature ones. I mean, some pot-bellied pigs get pretty big, but this one is basically the size of a Chihuahua, I think. I mean, you know, lengthwise and all, but he has pet carriers for both his iguana and his pot-bellied pig, so that if he needs them to stay in his vehicle for any reason, um, while he's out of the vehicle, he puts them in their carriers, and sometimes when he's driving, the iguana stays in the carrier, and then like he lets them out so they can walk around and stuff. And he has like, he doesn't have a terrarium or whatever they're called in there for the iguana, but he does have like some plants, and he has like a cardboard box that's got some sand in it and stuff. But this guy drives out west mostly in the United States. He goes to Canada some, but mostly he drives, I think he may go to Mexico some too, but mostly he drives out west in the U.S. And so he does a lot of runs in the New Mexico and Arizona area, and he lets his iguana just get out and run. He like pulls over at a state park or something, and he's got some pretty entertaining videos, assuming that they've not been taken down. I don't know. There were some people out there that had a couple of issues with him or something, but I don't think it had anything to do with his pets. But anyway, this video is turning out to be considerably longer than I had meant for it to be. So I guess I'm gonna start studying again, and then I'm gonna make that list I was talking about. Try to remember everything that I have already mentioned. I can watch my video for that. But anyway, I'm going to try to make sure that I make a list of the things that I feel are important for you guys to know as I'm going through school and as I am learning stuff, assuming that, I passed my physical. I'm definitely going to pass my drug screen because I've never done drugs. But, and I don't drink that much. They do test for alcohol also, so I haven't drank in a long time. But yeah, the stuff that you guys need to know if you want to become a truck driver. And, as I go down the road, I'm going to pick up stuff that I know is like really, really important. I know the pre-trip part of the skills test is really super important, and there's a lot to it, so it's like pretty hard to remember. But just watch videos. There are all sorts of videos out there. There are videos that show you what it's like to be out on the road. There are videos that show you what it's like to go to school. Wil Trans, Wilson Logistics doesn't have a school per se. They do their own personal training. So it's not a school, it's personal training. But yeah, I'm going to start studying, and I'm going to make that list. So hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. I've seen videos where people come back a week later and are like, I'm sorry, I know I said I was going to make a video yesterday, but I was really tired when I got there, but I'm getting to Springfield at about 5:30 p.m. So I should have plenty of time to relax after my long trip. So have a great weekend, everyone. Keep watching.